We're here today on a final hearing. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the child. Um, let's see. Miss Archer's in the waiting room. The parents have been terminated, so I don't know. We don't need her, I don't think. Let me get her in. I'll go ahead then. And it appears to me that the Oakleys are here together. So
Yes, Your Honor.
let me just get Miss Archer to connect to the audio. We'll see if she's here for some other reason. Miss Archer, were you here on the O'Brien case?
Well, I didn't know if Atkinson had been vacated. We'd signed an order, but I kind of wanted to verify.
Let me look at my list here. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then,
I don't know why. I guess it was by agreed order. I just show that it's marked off my list too.
okay, perfect. So I just didn't want to drop the ball. And then
Okay.
on O'Brien, I'm on here, but I thought that I had been
Yeah.
dismissed out of that case.
You had, and I didn't realize you were here on the other case. So yeah, you're free to go. Thank you for checking in. I appreciate that.
I'll be back at 11. Thank
Okay,
you.
see you then. Okay, I have Sam Wildman, Tiffany Brown, and Jennifer Paul in the waiting room.
We could let Sam Wildman in and Tiffany, you said Tiffany Paul or Tiffany Brown?
Tiffany Brown, and then Jennifer Paul.
Okay, sorry about that, Your Honor. If I could have Tiffany Brown in as well.
Okay. Is she going to be taking over for?
Yes, Your Honor.
She's just observing?
She is just observing today.
Okay.
I'll be covering Courtney's hearings this morning.
Okay, all right. I was going to ask you. So this is still Courtney's case you're just covering?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'll get Sam in. So okay, I believe we're all in. So Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Tiffany Brown as its witness.
Okay. Ms. Brown, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tiffany, who do you work for?
Work for St. Francis Ministries, Texas.
And what do you do for them?
I am a permanency specialist.
And are you assigned to the child, Zyler?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old is he?
Zyler is 4.
Okay. And the parental rights of both of his parents have been terminated. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And has the department filed a modification asking the court to make Janae Oakley and Jerry Oakley the conservators of Zyler?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long has Zyler lived with them?
He's lived with them for over a year now.
Can you give us some details on how Zyler is doing in their home?
Zyler is doing good. He is bonded to his great aunt and uncle, and also his cousins. Zyler is receiving speech therapy and all of the therapies that are recommended through UCI. He's doing well in the home.
And do the Oakleys provide for Zyler's daily needs?
Yes.
Do they provide him with food and shelter?
Yes.
Do they follow up with his medical care?
Yes.
And are they the ones taking him to his appointments as well?
Yes.
Can you describe the relationship between the Oakleys and Zyler?
They're really close. Janae and Zyler and Jerry, they all speak a different language. They understand his words like squishy. They know how to meet his needs. He knows to go to them when he needs something. Even when he's not talking, Janae is really good about knowing what he needs and wants.
Which one is a biological relative of Zyler?
Jerry is.
And how is he related to Zyler?
It's his great uncle.
Okay. Now, have Jerry and Janae been protective of Zyler?
Yes, very much so.
And it is your belief that they would continue to do so. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell me, is it in the child's best interest that Janae and Jerry be named the managing conservators of the child?
Yes.
And is the child, in your opinion, ready for a stable and permanent home with them?
Yes.
I pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ingram?
Are you also asking that Zyler's last name be changed to Oakley?
Yes, sir.
You believe that to be in his best interest as well?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Past witness.
All right. Any other questions? I have one question. I'll just ask Mr. and Mrs. Oakley. Mr. and Mrs. Oakley, in the report I read, they asked for the name changed to Oakley. Is that what you wanted?
Yes, Your Honor. We just needed to change the spelling and just change the last name.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I want to just be sure I've got it right. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then. Based upon what I've heard, I believe it's in Zyler's best interest that I grant the motion. I will name Janae and Jerry Oakley joint managing conservators, and I will dismiss the department and all other court-ordered relationships, and I will change Zyler's name to Zyler's. All right. Since we've got a final resolution in this case, there'll be no other hearing set. I'm sure everybody's glad to not have to see me anymore. So,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. and Mrs. Oakley, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Zyler's a lucky kid, so appreciate all you've done for him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll stand in recess till 9:30, and then I'll be back to call a Randall County case. That's a permanency hearing on the.
I left my opener in my new truck, so I had to park right there. So,
Aw.
yeah, I almost ran into the gate. I reached around where it always is. and it wasn't there.
Yeah. Oh no.
On that order
Hey,
that.
Brittany, you guys are not muted.
Oh, I don't know how that happened. Sorry.
It's okay.
On a permanency hearing. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the children. Mr. Barfield is with us representing the father, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Barfield, he's not with us. Were you expecting him? Oh, no, I see he relinquished. I guess we're not expecting him.
Yeah, Your Honor. Yeah, my client voluntarily relinquished in August.
Okay, all right. Mr. Barfield, you can stick around if you want. I mean, since we haven't actually, I don't see that I did an interlocutory termination. Yeah, why don't you stick around since he's not technically been terminated yet? So, okay, and then Mr. Taylor represents the mother, Miss Neal. He's not with us, and I show that Miss Neal is currently incarcerated in Randall County Jail. Does anybody know, is that still correct?
Mayor, do you know if that's correct?
I checked the jail roster yesterday and she was still in there.
Okay, all right, good enough then. We'll go ahead and proceed then. Since she's incarcerated, Mr. Taylor, if he joins in the waiting room, I'll bring him in immediately. So, Ms. Gutierrez, I've got Tamara Martinez. Is she your witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I still have a Jennifer Paul in the waiting room. I don't know who I keep looking down my list of cases. I don't see anybody by that name. So
I don't know who that is, Your Honor. I mean, we could bring her in and ask.
I guess I could. And if she's in the wrong place, we won't make her sit around all morning. All right, this is Judge Graham. I've let in a Jennifer Paul. Miss Paul, can you tell me, what case you're here on?
Caldwell?
Let me see.
She is a subpoenaed witness now, Your Honor. I remember now. I apologize. But it is for Caldwell. It's not for this hearing.
That one's at 1:30 today.
Yeah, so Miss Paul, that case is set at 1:30 this afternoon.
Okay.
We didn't want you to just have to hang around all morning if you had something else to do. So if you want to log back in a little before 1:30, then that's the case that's when we'll be calling it.
Okay. I'll be back at 1:30 then.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Is Teresa, is she a witness or?
Yes, Your Honor. She's a subpoenaed witness.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay, then no one's in the waiting room, so you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Tamara Martinez as its witness.
Okay. Ms. Martinez, do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tamara, who do you work for?
St. Francis Ministries.
What do you do for them?
I'm a permanency specialist.
And are you assigned to the children, Jackson and Hazel?
Yes, I am.
And are their parents Kayla Neal and Richard Freeman?
Yes, they are.
Did you prepare a court report for this hearing and file it on October 23rd of 2024?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, we ask that the court take judicial notice of that court report.
All right. So noted, and I have read that report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Tamara, are there any updates on Jackson?
No, they're not. He continues to do very well in his placement.
And are there any updates since the filing of the court report on Hazel?
No, she also continues to do very well in her placement.
Are there any updates on Kayla Neal?
No, ma'am.
Were you aware that she's in Randall County Jail?
Yes, she is in Randall County Jail.
When was the last time you spoke with her?
Last Wednesday.
And what did y'all discuss?
We discussed the case and what she's wanting in regards to the case.
Did you discuss services?
Not at that time. No, she's wanting the children to stay where they're at. We discussed her services at a prior visit.
Okay, so you discussed services with her at a prior visit. When was that?
That would have been in the end of September.
And at that time, did you review the services that she was court ordered to do?
Yes, I did.
And did you offer to help complete those services?
Yes, I did.
And her visitation was stopped in the July 15th permanency review order. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that was conditioned to restart on her providing a negative hair follicle and a negative urinalysis drug screen result. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And have we asked her to drug screen since then?
Her location was unknown, so I was unable to ask her to drug screen, and then she was incarcerated.
And while her location was unknown, did you make efforts to find her?
Yes, I did.
What were those efforts?
I ran Facebook searches, True People searches. I asked Mr. Freeman. I asked placement. I did jail searches, diligent searches.
And are there any updates on Mr. Freeman since the filing of the court report?
No.
And he has signed a relinquishment, is that correct?
Yes.
And are we asking the court to set the final hearing after this, at the end of this hearing?
Yes.
And does Richard continue to visit with the children?
Yes, he does.
How are those visits going?
They are reported to be going great.
Okay. Is Mr. Freeman finished with his services as well?
He was lacking a couple, I believe, but he has not been doing services since signing the relinquishment.
Are we asking for drug screens to be ordered today?
No.
And can you tell us what reasonable efforts the department has made to reunify the family?
We've provided both parents with family plans of services, gone over those plans with the parents. With both parents, we've discussed the reasons for removal, the dangers of drug use in the home. We've discussed the importance of stability. We have offered visitation. Mr. Freeman does get visits due to having negative drug screens. Ms. Neal, we explained about the negative hair in order to have her visit reinstated, so she was aware of that. And then when Ms. Neal was not incarcerated, we attempted to make monthly face-to-face contact with her.
Ask the witness.
All right. Ms. Martinez, you said that Ms. Neal wants the children to stay where they're at. Is she talking about long-term or just till she gets out of jail or what?
She's talking about long-term. She was going to discuss her options with her attorney.
Okay. All right. And then I'm just curious, Mr. Freeman's continuing to visit after he's relinquished. That's kind of unusual. Is that what's best for the kiddos?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he's maintained his sobriety. Like he was doing really, really well. There was no concerns, and placement's very protective.
Does he just, I mean, is he wanting the kids to be adopted by the placement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do they have some relationship? Are they related to each other?
No, the care kinship placement's related to Miss Neal, but they have a very strong relationship with Mr. Freeman.
Do you know that if that's what happens, if they adopt, are they going to let Mr. Freeman continue to have some kind of relationship with the kids?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that explains why we're doing visits. Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Barfield, questions?
I think the court just took care of my questions.
Okay, all right. Mr. Ingram, any questions?
No questions.
All right, Ms. Gutierrez, anything further from the department?
No, Your Honor, I did notice, is Mr. Taylor in this hearing?
No, he never joined.
Okay. I was just making an account of who was present in the hearing for my order. Nothing further, Your Honor, the department rests.
Okay, all right. Mr. Barfield, did you have any witnesses today?
I do not, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Ingram, recommendation?
Continue department as temporary manager conservator, continue placement as is. Kids are doing well with placement.
Okay. All right, then I will continue the department as temporary manager conservator, and I will continue the current placements. I'll set a final in this case for January 6th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before January 6th to see exactly what time, excuse me, that hearing will take place. Okay, we'll stand in recess on this case. For those of you involved, I'll be back. I'm sure you guys probably thought I was losing my mind when I kept asking about Courtney. It just slipped my head that she was taking over for Harry. So I kept saying, is she coming back? I bet y'all thought I'd lost it. So
I don't know if y'all know, Andy just texted me that Courtney had her baby this weekend.
Oh, wow. Well, good. So she's officially on leave now, right?
Yes.
So, okay. Well, that's just what happens with old age. You forget what happened yesterday. So
Believe me, I haven't forgotten.
yeah, I bet you haven't. Okay.
When you said a next hearing in January a while ago, I texted Andy with celebration emojis saying, not me.
Yeah, you didn't even write that one down, did you, Harry?
I did not.
Okay, we'll see y'all 11. We're here on a compliance hearing following an order to participate. Ms. Wiggins is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the child. Mr. Hill is with us representing the alleged father, Mr. Velarde, who is with us. And Ms. Archer is with us representing the mother, Ms. Renteria. Ms. Archer, I don't see her. Were you expecting her?
I believe she's probably with Mr. Velarde.
Okay. Is that correct, sir? If you'd unmute.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. That accounts for all the parties. I have Amanda Jones and Megan Jepcott.
If they could both be brought in, Your Honor, Amanda's the caseworker and Megan is her supervisor.
Okay.
And for the court's record, I'll be covering the hearing for Courtney Wiggins today.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I think everyone's with us. So Ms. Gutierrez, you can call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Amanda Jones as its witness.
Okay. Ms. Jones, if you'd raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Amanda, who do you work for?
Child Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I'm a family-based safety services caseworker.
And are you assigned to the family of Violet?
Yes, I am.
And who is her mother?
Ruby Renteria.
And who is her father?
Lorenzo Velarde.
Great. Can we get an update on how Ruby is doing on her services?
Ruby is doing well. There was a period of time between September and October when Violet was in the hospital. And so there were some delays in services because Miss Renteria was unable to go to her doctor's appointment, but she did get into her doctor's and saw them on October 9th. She's back on her medication because there was a lapse in her medication without seeing that provider. And then she has also seen her case manager per Miss Renteria's discussion with me. She said her next appointment is coming up in middle of November. Mr. Renteria is also now working at McDonald's, and she said she's doing well there.
Are there any recommended services for Ruby Renteria that we need to ask the court to order?
At this point, we would request substance abuse testing just to ensure that there's no additional concerns with substances. There was an incident over the weekend, apparently, where it was alleged that Mr. Velarde was drinking, and we just want to ensure that there's no substance abuse that we need to be dealing with or aware of at this point. Ms. Renteria has also had some side effects to her medication that she reports are side effects to her medication, but they can mimic substance abuse at times. So we want to ensure that it's just those side effects. It's not anything additional.
Right, and can you please give me an update on how Lorenzo is doing on his services?
He's doing well. He completed his Padre program in September successfully. We have asked him to drug test or substance abuse test at the end of August, and he said he wasn't able to go because of work. He was asked to go in early September, but he stated he went too late. And so in October, or he tested negative September 4th. And then in October, we asked him to test after little Violet was released from the hospital, but there was some complications that day as they were going back to the ER because of Violet's medical needs. And then when he was asked to go the next time, they were at the doctor's office again. He did test on October 31st on an oral swab when I was at the home, and he was negative on that test.
Are there any services for Mr. Velarde that we are asking the court to order?
We are also asking for drug testing and substance abuse testing for Mr. Velarde just to ensure that there's nothing we need to be worried about or there's no relapse that has happened based on the concerns brought up from the weekend. Mr. Velarde says that he's not drinking, or he's not intoxicated. He does admit to drinking occasionally, but he doesn't report that he's intoxicated or unable to care for his child.
What more, if anything, are you able to share about the recent intake?
It was reported to us that he was drunk by one party, but then another party said he wasn't. And then when I talked to Mr. Velarde, he said he wasn't drinking. He reported he had issues in the past with drinking, and so that might be why someone would allege that. But that was months and months ago prior to his daughter being born. And he doesn't know why it would continue to be reported that he was drinking to the point of intoxication.
Now, regarding the screens that we are asking for Mr. Velarde, are we asking for a urinalysis, an alcohol test, and a hair follicle drug screen?
Yes.
And for the mother, are we asking for a urinalysis and hair follicle drug screen?
Yes.
Okay. In regards to Violet, can we get an update on Violet, please?
Yes, she was in the hospital. She was admitted due to concerns for her weight and not gaining weight and not eating well. In September, she was discharged October 8th. She was given, or she had an operation to insert a G-tube, and that is going well so far. There were some complications just with ensuring the formula was correct, and she's still not getting as much formula as doctors will hope, but she is making progress. She is seeing multiple specialists. She sees Dr. Anderson at Tech, and Dr. Anderson says she's doing better, that the parents are doing well with her, that they are responsive, asking questions, doing appropriately with Violet. She sees a retina specialist, and then she sees a neurosurgeon and a neurologist as well for checkups. They are talking about possibly putting a helmet on her in the next couple of months if the x-rays look well at the next appointment with the neurologist. And then she also receives physical therapy speech and feeding therapy with Therapy 2000. And Mr. Velarde and Ms. Renteria told me last week that she would also be starting occupational therapy as well. Those therapy sessions are going well. She is seen 2 to 3 times a week per provider. And so there's a lot of therapists in and out of the home. And she's reported to be making progress. The progress is just slow with her medical issues.
Are there any services for Violet that need to be?
No, the parents are doing well with services. There was some concern prior to her hospitalization, but those concerns have been alleviated and she's doing much better. She also receives in-home nursing, and that is going well. The parents are very pleased with their in-home nurse, and that's been a good support for them as well.
Thank you. I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Archer.
This case wasn't instigated due to drug use, correct?
It was at the beginning. There was a report that Miss Renteria tested positive when the Violet was born.
For what substance?
I believe that was methamphetamine.
And you mentioned a lot of doctor's appointments and therapies for the daughter, correct?
Yes,
And that's pretty time consuming for the parents, is it not?
it is.
And Ruby has tested negative throughout the course of this case, right?
She was asked to do one initial test when the family-based case was open, and that test was negative. We haven't continually asked for her to drug test since that initial test.
And in the hospital, on that test, that was determined that that was due to medication she was taking at the time, correct?
That was the initial test that brought the department into the case, yes.
So there was no methamphetamine use ever in this case, correct?
Not confirmed, no.
And don't you think it'll be a little difficult for her to go drug screen when the family has so many appointments to get to and therapy and so forth?
It would possibly be difficult, but I think the benefits would outweigh the concerns for that, just so we can see that there's no concerns of substance abuse at this point.
And the family shares one car, correct?
They do.
Okay. And both parents have at least one job, correct?
As of Friday, yes, I believe so.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Jones, the home health care, are they there during the daytime?
The schedule changes. She's available whenever the family needs. And so sometimes that's been overnight. Sometimes it's been during the day. When Mr. Velarde said that he received or he got accepted to the job on Friday, they're supposedly going to be working at the same time, and the home health nurse will be staying with Violet during those periods of time. Sounds like there's still some kinks to be worked out with their schedule.
But there will be times when the home health people are there during 8 to 5.
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Most of the times I know about, she's been there overnight because that's when Violet is doing her feeding.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Hill.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Jones, if I understood you correctly, Mr. Velarde has completed all his services. Is that right?
Yes, he has.
Okay. Ms. I realize she's not my client, but Ruby, Ms. Renteria has completed all her services too, correct?
Yes, she's got the ongoing service as he does. He's drug testing, and then her ongoing service is continuing to maintain her mental health appointments and medication. So that's just ongoing.
Okay, and that's going to be an ongoing part of her life just for the foreseeable future. Would you agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This case has been open for 7 months. The parents seem to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the parents seem to be doing what they're supposed to be doing for the child. They're getting the appropriate medical care. I think you said the doctor reports that the parents are participating appropriately and doing the things they need to do. What more are you looking for before we close this case out?
I think our concern at this point is that report over the weekend and just making sure that we iron out that there was nothing there if there wasn't. The other thing that came up last week that we have some concerns about is that the housing situation, due to them being in the hospital for almost a month, has been difficult with rent. They talked about possibly staying in a motel, and so we just want to make sure as well that they're staying somewhere safe, that they have electricity, especially with Violet needing a pump for her feeding, that all of that is taken care of. So there has been improvements and progress, but there are these hiccups that come along that we have to address when they come up.
Okay, and I think you mentioned earlier that both parents are working. I actually think Mr. Velarde has 2 jobs now. Are you aware of that?
He's told me about a few different jobs. As of Friday, I knew about the McDonald's job. There's been a previous job he reported that he was working at a hotel, but that didn't work out. And then there was a painting job that I don't think worked out. And then he also helps with his brother, but I don't know how consistent that work is.
Okay. So is the department helping them with rent? I mean, why are you just hanging around in the weeds waiting for them to stumble so you can do something else with them, to them, et cetera? What are you providing to them to help them?
Your Honor, I'm gonna object to form as well as a little bit of a asked and answered.
Overrule. Ms. Jones, you can answer.
And so I think the question is, what are we providing at this point? The department's not providing any services at this point besides paying for drug testing when that has come up. I gave them some information on community resources for rent. But no, we have not paid for their rent at this point.
Okay, so let's just say they do have struggles with rent and but a hotel. I mean, what then? Are you going to come in and remove the child? I mean, I don't get it. Why are we still here? It just drags on and on and on. They've done everything you've asked them to do. They apparently are complying medically with the child's care. And yet you still just want a drug test. We just got to see. We just got to be sure. When is enough enough?
All right.
Your Honor, I'm going to object argumentative.
Excuse me. That was just asked and answered. So
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
okay, Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right. Anything further for Ms. Jones?
I think I do have a couple of questions on redirect, Your Honor.
Okay.
Ms. Jones, you mentioned a lapse in mother's medical or medication, rather. When did that occur?
That was back late September to early October. It was less than a week, I believe. They just told me that they hadn't been able to refill the medication because they had missed she had missed the doctor's appointment. And so when that was brought up, she immediately called and got back into the doctor's. And then she saw the doctor, I believe, the day after they were released from the hospital.
Okay. I think that's it, Your Honor. The department rests.
All right. Ms. Archer, any witnesses?
Yes, I'll call my client, Ruby Renteria.
Okay. Ms. Renteria, if you would unmute.
Hi.
Do y'all have video?
I don't think it's working.
Okay. All right. Raise your right hand, ma'am. You swear the
Okay.
testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
The whole truth. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Archer.
Ruby, when you missed your doctor appointment, is that because you were at the hospital with your child, or why was that?
Your Honor,
Yes,
I'm going to object to leading.
Overrule. Go ahead.
Yes, it was because I was at the hospital.
Okay. And you did make an appointment as soon as it was pointed out to you that you missed, correct?
Yeah. No, yes. It was a day right after. I rescheduled, the meeting with the doctor and the meeting with the social worker.
Are you back on your medication now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I've always been.
And do you have a job?
Yes, I do. I work 40 hours a week at McDonald's.
And what hours does the home health care nurse come to your house?
She comes after I get off of work at 4 o'clock.
And how long does she stay?
She stays all the way up until the morning, so her 12-hour shift.
Okay, so would finding a time to drug test be difficult for you?
Absolutely. It will. I can't be, not without my job. I can't miss appointments. I can't, it would be way too much.
And since the beginning of this case, have you put your daughter first?
Yes, absolutely. She comes first. My job knows exactly my daughter's condition, and I had to explain to them that we will have several doctor's appointments. So, yes, it's a lot.
And when this case started in the hospital, when you had the positive test, did you provide your medications to the caseworker?
Yes, I did. I told her. I take my medicine.
And did they agree with you that it was that
Yes,
positive result due to the
all-
medicine?
Yes, all of them. All of them agreed. They said it might be something else. It might be some of the medication that they were giving me that might have produced a false positive. It might have been something that they did during surgery.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Ms. Gutierrez, any questions for Ms. Renteria?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hill, any questions?
One briefly, ma'am, I think you just touched on this in passing regarding missing the doctor's appointment, but you said you never missed any doses of your medicine. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, you missed a doctor's appointment, you made another doctor's appointment, got a new script or whatever, but you never missed a single dose of medicine.
No, sir.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Ingram.
So if the home health nurse is coming in the evenings and staying overnight, who takes care of Violet during the day if you're both at work?
Lorenzo does. Lorenzo has been the main person that takes care of her. He just recently got the job at McDonald's with me.
So what's the plan if you're both at work? Who's going to take care of Violet?
Well, our nurse is going to come in the morning. We already talked to the doctor, and the doctor said that she doesn't have to be fed from 4 p.m. all the way up until 8 a.m. What we could do is we could change it. We could change her schedule from eating. So we could do 8 a.m. all the way up until the 4 in the afternoon. So we could switch it whenever we want, and the nurse will be the one who stays with her.
So why does the nurse have to be the one who does the feeding?
She doesn't have to. We decided to bring her during the feedings. That way she could have her while she's pumping, because she does take a break. After she's done eating, she takes a full break throughout the whole day, and she starts back on her feeding at 4 p.m. So basically, I would be home by the time that she has to take her feeding, but we can change whenever she gets her feeding.
Okay, pass witness.
So has Lorenzo started working with you at McDonald's?
Yes, sir.
Okay, during the day?
We work in the morning. I have to be there by 7:30 in the morning, sometimes 6:30 in the morning, and sometimes 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, well, to follow up with what Mr. Ingram asked, if he's working the same hours you are, you talk about that the nurse could come during the day, but if you're both going to work right now and the nurse is not coming until in the afternoon, I renew his question. Who's taking care of her right now?
Yes, we are. We are. She's the one that comes whenever Lorenzo was trying to work at the hotel and everything. He would stay with her, and he would see the feedings with her.
Okay, that's not my question. You just said that you're both going to work. You're working at McDonald's. You're both going to work. So like, who's taking care of her? You can't be at work.
He just recently Lorenzo just recently started this job.
Okay, but
So
let's say he started yesterday. I mean, who took care of her yesterday if you're both at McDonald's working?
his mom. His
Okay,
mom
well,
is helping us out.
why didn't you answer that for Mr. Ingram?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have answered.
Okay. All right. Miss Archer, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Judge, that's it.
All right, Mr. Hill, any witnesses?
I'd like to call Mr. Lorenzo Velarde, please.
Okay. Sir, if you'd raise your right hand, do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Hill?
Lorenzo, so you are working at McDonald's now, correct?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been working at McDonald's?
I just recently started,
Okay, just recently. Is that yesterday? Is that last week? Is it last month? What does recently mean?
It means I started, well, I did paperwork. I've only done my paperwork. I actually start on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yes.
And so today's Monday. So you start the day after tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're both going to be, you and Ruby, you're both going to be working the same shift.
For the most part, yes, but our boss did tell us that sometimes the hours will change for us, and she might start a little earlier. It just really depends on how many people are at the restaurant at that time or how busy it is. So they're going to be changing quite frequently.
Okay. So your hours are going to be variable, but if
Yes,
I
sir.
understand everybody correctly, your mother is taking care of Violet when you and Ruby are not there.
Yes, sir. It's either me, Ruby, the nurse, or my mom at all times.
Okay. And the nurse at times stays there by herself with Ruby.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that has taken place previously, and that's all allowed, and everybody's good with that?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. Has your mother been properly trained by whomever in how to take care of Violet when you and Ruby are working and the nurse is not there? So in other words, when your mother has sole responsibility for caring for Ruby.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry, for the child.
Yes, sir.
All right. She's worked with the home health people, with medical professionals, with whoever. She understands what she needs to do.
Yes, sir. Plenty of times.
Okay. And has she previously taken care of Violet
Yes, sir.
on more than one occasion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it works well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you also working a second job?
Yes, sir. I do. I do help my brother with his company, and also, on sometimes off, I do Uber as well. So
All
three,
right.
technically.
Okay. What, in your opinion, what is CPS providing to your family, if anything, that you view as helpful at this point?
Nothing but just problems. I mean, nothing. They haven't helped us with anything.
How difficult is it for you to go drug screen if the judge says you've got to go? Usually what it is the judge will say you've got to go drug screen by 4 p.m. today. How difficult is that? What kind of problems, if any, does it create for you to have to go drug screen if that's the order by 4 p.m. today?
It creates a lot of stress. It's problematic. We could lose our job, and we have a lot of things to do, and the process takes up to 4 hours, and 4 hours without, it's just difficult. It takes way too long.
It can take 4 hours to to do a drug test?
Yes, sir. Up to 4 hours. Yes, sir. Just waiting in the waiting room.
You're kidding me.
No, sir.
You have previously spent 4 hours at wherever to get
Yes, sir.
just to get blood or whatever to do a drug test?
Yes, sir.
Is that frequent, or is that kind of a one-off?
Oh, no, it's very frequent. Most of the times it's 3 to 4 hours that I have to wait. I'm almost the first one to enter and the last one to leave.
Do you feel like you need help from CPS at this point?
No, sir, never have.
Do you feel like you have a good working relationship with the medical professionals?
Absolutely. She's very kind. She's very helpful, and she actually does help us out a lot. She is actually a very good help.
Okay. Would you consider her to be a necessary participant in your lives at this point?
Yes, sir.
And is she organized through CPS, or have you organized that on your own?
Oh, we did that on our own.
And is CPS in any way paying for that service?
No, sir. They haven't paid for anything.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Mr. Velarde, who pays for the home health care?
For insurance?
is it private insurance or is it through
Superior Medicaid?
Medicaid?
Yes, sir.
So if the department's out of this case, you're not going to lose that home health care, correct?
Oh, no, sir. Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody else have questions for Mr. Velarde?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Hill, any other witnesses?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Ingram, did you have anything else? Any witnesses?
No, sir.
All right. Then Mr. Ingram, recommendations?
Judge, I don't know what's best. I mean, this family obviously could use all the help they can get, but if CPS is saying we're not providing any services other than drug testing, I don't, and so.
Well,
my only question is, this is the first I've heard of a grandmother taking care of the child, and I'm wondering if grandmother's been approved by the department.
Your Honor, I can reopen and call Ms. Jones as a witness to answer that question.
Okay. Please do.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Amanda Jones as a witness.
Okay, go ahead. She's under oath.
Ms. Jones, were you aware that Mr. Velarde's mother was taking care of the child?
Not since she's been home from the hospital. They previously lived with the paternal grandmother, and she was a big help for the family, but I was not aware that she was taking care of the child while anyone was working. That got brought up this weekend, but the nurse was the primary caregiver to my knowledge.
And as far as the grandmother taking care of the child, does the department have any concerns with that?
I just haven't been able to ensure that she knows how to work the pump and do the medical, meet the medical needs of the child, as mom and dad were the primary people trained in the hospital. I've seen them interact with Violet since she's had the surgery, but not grandmother.
Now, as far as the grandmother, has the department had a reason to run any sort of background check on her previous to this?
I would have to check. I know we had approved her in the past, so she was living in the home. But when I attempted to talk to her this morning, she hung up on me. So I don't know that I would be able to verify any of that information at this point.
Ask the witness.
All right. Anybody else have questions?
I do, Judge.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Who does?
I do, Judge.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Hill.
Thank you. So, Ms. Jones, the grandmother, the paternal grandmother was approved in the past, correct?
She was in the home. We didn't talk about her being a primary caregiver of the child, but I know she was caring for Violet when the parents were living in the home.
Okay, so by default, previously in this same case, she was a caregiver, correct?
Yes.
Okay, but now, since they don't live in the same house, you'd like to do some investigation and make sure she can be approved before you're okay with her being a caregiver. Am I understanding you correctly?
It's not necessarily the housing situation. It's that Violet's needs have changed. She has a G button now. She has a pump overnight. She has aspiration issues. She has to be sleep on an incline. And those are just things that I would need to ask grandmother if she's willing to do, and if she's willing to and understands the reasons for that, due to her not fully talking to me this morning and being able to ask those questions.
Have you been trained on how to do all these procedures?
No, not for Violet, no.
Okay, so you haven't been trained to do any of these procedures, but yet you're going to be the one who says whether or not somebody else knows how to do these procedures before you think that they're an appropriate caregiver.
I'd like to ask those questions to see if she understands what is needed.
Okay, so you're not okay with Mr. Velarde saying that she knows how to do it and she's doing it just fine?
That's new information to me as of this hearing. That wasn't provided to me prior, and so that's just something I would like to check out for myself versus just hearing it in this hearing.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Your Honor,
What?
I'd like to make a closing request when the time is appropriate.
All right, anybody have other questions for Ms. Jones? All right, Mr. Ingram, you got anything else to add now that you've heard this? Or are you just as confused as I was?
I'm still totally confused.
Okay, all right. All right, if nobody has anything else, Ms. Gutierrez?
Thank you, Your Honor. I understand that the parents have complied with a lot and finished a lot, and I am glad to hear that they are doing well in regards to services. Unfortunately, there are still some concerns, and they are the type of concerns, Your Honor, that if they are not addressed could lead to the department being involved again in the future. I understand where parents' attorneys are coming from. I do believe that it's in the child's best interest that the drug screening be ordered and the case continued. And then at the point, if everything comes back clean, if the intake concerns are taken care of, if the department's concerns with the caretaker and the drug screens are taken care of, any party can file a motion to dismiss, Your Honor, and request a hearing. I don't think that everything has to be decided today, Your Honor. I think that request is just slightly premature, but again, I understand where parents' attorneys are coming from.
Okay, all right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to dismiss the case today, but I'm going to order that the parents submit to any oral swab drug tests that the department or St. Francis wants to give them. I've heard, and I didn't hear enough. It's real sketchy about what was reported happened over the weekend, but department or St. Francis can do oral drug swabs on them, and they won't have to go to I assume they go to Care Express. They won't have to go anywhere and sit for 3 to 4 hours. I'm going to set a compliance hearing for December 2nd, 2024. Just, I'm real hazy. I never got a real answer about it until Grandma came in at the last minute. That's going to give them a month to do what they said and get the home health care switched around so that they can both go to McDonald's and work. And then at that compliance hearing on December 2nd, I want to hear from the home health care nurse. So y'all, somebody arrange to subpoena her or whatever it takes to have that home health care nurse testify. And hopefully she can tell us whether or not Grandma has been trained and whether she's comfortable with Grandma being a caregiver. So just too much it's still a little too hazy to dismiss today is what I'm saying. So, okay. So that compliance hearing on December 2nd will be, by Zoom, just like today's hearing. So all the parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before December 2nd to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing that day. And as I said, I'm making a note that I definitely want to hear from the home health care nurse on the 2nd of December. So, okay. We'll stand in recess on this case, and I'll be back real quickly to call. We're here on a final hearing. I do note that the department has asked that this case be extended. Ms. Gutierrez is covering for Ms. Wiggins for the department. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the child. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the father, Mr. Rodriguez. I don't
Judge,
see it.
Ms. Gutierrez stepped away for a moment. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I don't think it'll be more than a couple minutes.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and finish calling the case. Ms. Mullinax represents the father, Mr. Rodriguez. Ms. Mullinax, no, there he is. He's come into the waiting room now. Okay, let me get him in. All right. And the mother, Ms. Casillas, is with us. We've gotten word from Lorene Lucero, mother's attorney, that she's in a termination trial with Judge Anderson. Didn't think she would be able to be here, so we're not going to be able to proceed on the final without her. I will ask, though, we can't ask Ms. Lucero. Does anybody that's with us right now object to the extension?
No, Your Honor, and I think that Courtney or Teresa or somebody had asked if it was agreed, and I think everybody was agreeable.
Okay.
I think that's my understanding as well, Judge. The child's placed back home with mom.
Yeah.
Recently. Okay. It was my understanding everyone was on board for.
Okay. Well, it sounds to me like it looks like there's some services that both parents, sounds like mom wants to continue, and Mr. Rodriguez, I show, has not started BIP. But if I found plenty of reason to go ahead and grant that extension. So we'll just go ahead and do that today. That's all we'll take up today. we've got time to reset this as a permanency hearing. We had our last one on August 12th, so.
And Your Honor, the department did have a couple of issues that we were going to ask to be addressed today. I understand the court is only taking up the extension today, but I do request that the permanency hearing be set as soon as possible rather than later on.
Okay, let's just go ahead and pick a date while we're here. Brittany, if you kind of look for a date that we could reset this.
Okay, I'm looking right now.
We'll be resetting it as a permanency hearing.
Your Honor, if we could bring my caseworker in on this case so that she's aware of what we're doing today.
Is that Lisa Hooper?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, all right.
So I'm looking at November. I don't know if we want to do it that soon, but we can do it the 18th. We could do it that Friday, the 22nd, or we could do it December 2nd.
I would prefer the 18th.
Let's go ahead and set it for the 18th.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then what I'll do today, though, as I said, I'm going to grant the department's motion to extend the case and retain the case on the court's docket. I'll order the parents, I'll continue the department's temporary manager conservator, continue the current placement. And I'll order the parents to continue working any services that they have not worked as of today. And then we'll set a permanency hearing for November 18th. Parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before November 18th to see what time we'll have that hearing. And then we can take up any other matters on the 18th when Ms. Lucero can be here with us. So.
And Judge, I'm set for a jury trial right now, so I can try to find somebody else to cover for me.
Okay, I appreciate it. And if you can't be here, we obviously, it's a perm. We're not going to go forward with a final until you can be there unless it's agreed. So I appreciate you doing that, Aaron. Okay, we'll stand in recess on this case. We'll be back at 12:30 to call a motion to participate in another
Graham, are you
independent
there?
case on the. Yeah.
I wanted to let you know I've received all the attorney signatures for the Gettles order to participate.
Okay.
Do you want to call the hearing or do you want me to send an email letting them know it's vacated?
Yeah, why don't we just let them know it's vacated and just get me the order and I'll sign it.
Okay, great. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, then I'll see you back at 1:30 now.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thank you. On an adversary hearing. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram is with us representing the children. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the mother. Ms. Motts, who is with us. And Mr. Nowak is with us representing the father, Mr. Caldwell. Mr. Nowak, he's not in the waiting room. Did you expect him?
Judge, I have called him and his phone says currently not accepting calls. I've emailed him and I've texted him. To answer your question, no, I don't expect him.
Okay, thank you. I do note that what I read in the report, he has an outstanding warrant, so that might play a part too. So, okay, I have Jennifer Paul and Angelica Taylor in the waiting room.
Angelica Taylor is my witness, Your Honor. She's my investigator. And
Okay.
Jennifer Paul is my first witness. I would like to inquire with the attorneys on the case whether or not there's a possible agreement. I understand, Mr. Nowak, you haven't heard from your client, though.
There's no agreement, but I believe he's in jail, just so y'all know. He's in Randall County Jail as of the 19th.
Okay.
I'm on that webpage as well, Your Honor, and he is still in there.
Okay. All right, then. We'll go ahead and proceed in his absence. This case was set for 1:30. It's now 1:34. And let's see, did you say Jennifer Paul is your first witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll get her in. And then I have an Angela Tidwell that has just come into the waiting room.
That is the St. Francis caseworker, Your Honor. If she could be allowed in as well, please.
Okay. Okay, everyone's present. So Ms. Gutierrez, you may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Jennifer Paul as its witness.
All right. Ms. Paul, if you would please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Paul, who do you work for?
I work for Potter County CSCD, the probation department. Sorry.
Can you repeat that last statement that I interrupted?
I said the adult probation department here in Amarillo.
Thank you. What is your role there?
I am a community supervision officer or a probation officer.
And are you assigned to work with Corey?
Yes, I am.
And what charge is he on probation for?
Let me look it up exactly. He is on for assault of a pregnant person.
And is that cause number 33741C?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, we offer petitioners exhibit number 1 through 4 as evidence. They are certified copies, and I can identify each one individually if that's preferable.
Sure.
Okay, exhibit 1 is the indictment. Exhibit 2 is the order for deferred adjudication. Exhibit 3 is a supplemental order amending conditions of probation. And exhibit 4 is a motion to proceed to adjudication.
All right. Any objections?
No objection.
No objection.
All right. Petitioners 1 through 4 are admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Ms. Paul, you've been his probation officer since when?
May 20th, 2024, or May 21st, right in there.
Okay. How has Mr. Caldwell's compliance been with you?
Well, he actually has a pending motion with the court asking for revocation.
And what was the basis for that motion?
He has new charges along with contact with his victim that he's not supposed to have.
Have there been any concerns of drug use during his time with you?
Yes. He's been in and out of treatment. He was supposed to complete treatment. However, he has not done that. He has not complied with that condition.
And what drug is he seeing treatment for?
Methamphetamine use.
And to your knowledge, when was the last time that he used methamphetamine?
I honestly don't know. I have not seen him since it's really been a while. July.
Okay.
Was the last time I saw him.
And if your motion to revoke already in evidence states that he used methamphetamine on or about July 8th of 2024, would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay. As well, has he missed appointments with you since July of 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And so July 2024 would be the last time that you saw him. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Is there, or rather, what restriction is there for Mr. Caldwell seeing Ms. Chelsea Motts?
He used to have no contact with her.
And have you made him aware of that restriction?
Yes.
I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Mullinax.
Ms. Paul, you said at the beginning that he had violated his probation by having contact with the victim. Is that correct?
Yes.
And your motion to adjudicate or motion to revoke doesn't have that as a violation of his probation. Is that right?
The amended motion does.
Okay. Have you provided that to the attorneys in this case?
I didn't provide the original motion. I'm not sure who did.
I pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Nowak.
No questions for the witness, Judge, just a request from Teresa. And if I missed it, I apologize. Exhibits 1 through 4, could you email those to me when we get off?
Did email them late last night, Vince, but I will resend them after the hearing.
Teresa, if I was included, I'm sure it's there. Thank you.
I hope I included you.
Teresa, his name is not on there, but I can forward him because I've got him in front of me.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you, Aaron. I apologize about that, Mr. Nowak.
Thank you, and thank you, Aaron. Thanks, Judge.
Mr. Ingram, questions?
No questions.
All right, does anyone have follow-ups for Ms. Paul?
I have one follow-up, Your Honor.
Okay.
Ms. Paul, was Mr. Caldwell ordered or required to complete the Batters Intervention and Prevention Program as a part of his probation with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And has he enrolled into that program yet?
No, ma'am.
And was that an additional grounds for the motion to revoke?
Yes, ma'am.
I pass the witness again, Your Honor.
All right, anyone else? All right, then, can Ms. Paul be excused?
No objection.
No objection.
All right, Ms. Paul, thank you for your testimony. I'll remove you so you can go about your afternoon's business.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
The department calls Angelica Taylor as its witness.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Angelica, who do you work for?
I work for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I'm an investigator.
And are you assigned to Tough and Lady the children?
Yes.
And who is their mother?
Chelsea Motts.
And how do you spell her last name?
Mottes.
Okay, thank you. And who is the father of the children?
Corey Caldwell.
Okay. When did you receive an intake on this family?
October 17th.
Of 2024?
Yes.
And what were the intake allegations?
The report had mentioned concerns of heroin use by Mr. Caldwell, as well as Mr. Caldwell and Miss Motts being seen together at the hospital while visiting newborn baby Lainey.
And based on that intake, did you make contact with Ms. Motts?
Yes.
And was that at her home?
Yes.
Okay. And what did she state in response to the allegations?
Miss Motts had stated that her and Mr. Caldwell, she admitted to that he was living with her and that they had been at the hospital together, and that they were aware that there was an order in place that they were not to have contact with each other.
And what did she state had occurred on September 20th of 2024 with Mr. Caldwell?
She stated that there was another incident where Mr. Caldwell was threatening her and the police had come to the house.
And what more did she say in regards to Mr. Caldwell's substance use?
She had stated that he's been using, that it's just gotten worse. This is the worst version that she's seen of him, and that she wishes that he could be sent to Safe P. I think that's the gist.
When discussing that this was the worst she had seen, the worst version of Mr. Caldwell she had seen, what drugs did she identify that he was using?
She had stated fentanyl. She said that it was meth and now he was shooting up fentanyl.
Okay. What did Ms. Mott say about her own drug use history?
Miss Motts had stated that she has a history with pills, and so she just avoids them altogether to prevent, getting addicted to them again.
And in regards to mental health, what diagnosis did Ms. Mott state she had?
She had stated that she struggles with depression and anxiety, I believe.
Additionally, what action had Ms. Mott stated Mr. Caldwell made with items to get money for drugs?
Ms. Mott stated that he would sell her belongings. He would pawn them to get money.
And was her living situation stable according to her?
She stated that her rent for October hadn't been paid and that she was about to get an eviction notice.
Okay. Can you tell us what help the department has given the family recently?
Ms. Motts and Mr. Caldwell recently had a family-based safety services case open with the department that closed in July. So we offered that, as well as safety plans that were put in place that were in turn violated.
How recent was that family-based safety services case?
I believe the exact date was it closed on July 1st.
And were the services offered for that family in that family-based safety services case focused on substance abuse and domestic violence?
Yes.
Is it concerning that that is currently the issues the family is struggling with again?
Yes.
And Does it also cause you concern that both parties admit to violating the probation order against contact with each other?
Yes.
And let me rephrase that. The prohibition for Mr. Caldwell to have contact with Ms. Motz.
Yes.
In regards to the circumstances of the removal, it was an emergency removal without orders. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you please explain the circumstances that required it to be a removal without orders?
It was already, by the time it was already about 4:30 in the day, as well as Mr. Caldwell was not arrested at that time. He was still out.
Where was Lainey at the time of the removal?
She was in the NICU still.
And was the hospital willing to hold her long enough for the department to obtain an order?
Yes.
Oh, the hospital was willing to hold her long enough to get an order?
Yes, so lady was in the NICU and she wasn't even set to be discharged. So she was there at birth and continues to still be there.
However, with Tuff, where was Tuff located?
Tuff was with Miss Motz.
Okay, so for Tuff as well, it presented an immediate danger. Would that be correct?
Back to leading.
Sustained.
Okay. Now, Ms. Taylor, were the mother and father also visiting Lainey in the hospital?
Yes.
Object to hearsay.
Sustained. Well, I say that. Ma'am, did you ever see them at the hospital together?
I do not see them at the hospital.
Okay, sustained.
Now, Ms. Taylor, did Ms. Motz ever make any statements about she and Mr. Caldwell seeing Lainey at the hospital together?
Yes, she did.
As well, what did she state in regards to Mr. Caldwell being in her home?
She stated that he was there. Most specifically, she had stated that he was there. I was there on October 18th. She stated that he was there the day before, which would have been October 17th. That was the last time that he was in her home, is what she stated.
Did you believe there was an immediate danger to both children?
Yes.
And was there no time available to get an order from the judge prior to removing the kids from that danger?
Yes.
And as well, was there no time to have a full adversary hearing?
Yes.
Can you please describe the reasonable efforts the department made to prevent removal?
We have worked with this family before by offering family-based safety services. That work that was completed, the case was closed out, as well as within that case, there was a safety plan put in place that was violated.
So now with this family not only violating a safety plan, but also violating probation orders for in a criminal case, did that weigh towards removal?
Yes.
In regards to breastfeeding, was Miss Motz wanting to breastfeed Lainey?
Yes.
Was anything able to be worked out to help put that in place?
Yes. The hospital stated that she can pump and she could leave it at the Ronald McDonald room across the hall from the NICU, and they would give it to Lainey.
Okay. Is Lainey still in the NICU?
Yes, she is.
As well, and where's Tuff placed?
Tuff is currently placed with maternal grandparents.
And what city or county are they located in?
Amarillo, Texas.
Did the parents have an initial visit with Tuff?
Yes, mom did.
And if the father is incarcerated, that would prohibit or prevent that from happening. Is that correct?
Yes.
And would that visit also be the department's reasonable efforts to reunify the family since the removal?
Yes.
Have you provided information to the mother to get in contact with her St. Francis caseworker?
Yes.
Are we asking for any party to be drug screened today?
Not at this time due to Mr. Codwell being incarcerated.
I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Mullinax.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Taylor, you said earlier that Ms. Modest said that Corey lived with her.
Yes.
And in your report, do you remember writing that she said it was just her and the kids and sometimes her other kids would be there?
Yes.
And so if she told you that, then how did she tell you that he lived there?
So she started by saying that it was just them who lived there, and then later stated that she was in the process of packing his things and that he was just there and that he comes home when he's sober.
And she said she had seen him the day before at the house or where?
Yes, at the house he had come with new clothes on and she was frustrated about that.
Why was she frustrated, if you know, that he had new clothes on?
So she had stated she was frustrated that she had told him, well, it's nice that you can go buy new clothes, but you can't buy your kids diapers and stuff.
And so she allowed him to be at the home, you said, when he's sober?
Yes.
And the placement for the kids, that's actually where the other kids are placed, right? The older kids?
Yes, ma'am.
And the older kids are not a part of this case, but they're also Miss Modest's children. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Nowak.
No questions, Judge.
Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right, any follow-ups?
Yes, Your Honor, I have some follow-ups.
Okay.
Now, Ms. Taylor, at the time of removal, had you spoken with Mr. Caldwell yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And what day did you talk to him?
I visited him twice since the removal. The first time I visited him was, October, I guess, well, the most recent was October 29th.
Okay. And so if your investigative report reflects October 21st, 2021 as being an earlier date that you interviewed him, would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay. What did he state in regards to the allegations?
He had stated that he was very irritable, so it's hard to have a conversation with him, and he kept getting agitated, but he had stated that he wants to get help. He said that he's tried Synacor before. He said he last used a week ago after he had saw Lainey in the NICU. He denied being around the kids high.
And what did he state in regards to his Indian heritage?
He stated that he had he has Apache and Seminole Creek Indian heritage, but he's not a part of a registered tribe.
Okay. Now, in regards to making reasonable efforts to avoid removal, with both parents having contact with each other willingly, would, in order to remove one party from the home, would that not have served the purpose of keeping the children safe?
Back to leading.
Sustained.
In regards to whether or not, let me rephrase. How effective could, in order to remove one party, been from the household when both parties were seeing each other willingly?
Objection, speculation.
Overruled. You can answer, ma'am.
It would not be effective.
As well, how effective would have an agreement for parent-child safety placement, what potential did that have?
Objection, speculation.
Overall, you can answer.
There was already previous, like if they weren't even following orders that were already in place that they were not to have contact, then that would not be appropriate.
I pass the witness again, Your Honor.
All right, anyone else have further questions for this witness?
No.
All right. Do we need Ms. Taylor to stay?
Yes, please, Your Honor, and I have one more witness to call.
Okay, who's that?
That is Ms. Tidwell. I'm sorry. Yes, Angela Tidwell.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Tidwell, are you familiar with the visitation that the families had with the children, if any?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please tell me what visitation Ms. Motz has had with Tough?
And Miss Monis now has 2-hour visits per week, 1 hour on Tuesday, I believe, and 1 hour on Friday, I believe, in person over at placement home with one of my family support workers.
Now, what visitation has Ms. Motz had since the removal?
They started visitation with Tough last week, so Tuesday and Friday, and then she was able to see Lainey at the hospital Saturday, Tuesday, and Friday for an hour each day.
Can you repeat those dates, the days that she saw Lainey again, please?
Last Saturday at 11:30 to 12:30, Tuesday 11:30 to 12:30, and Friday 11:30 to 12:30 at the NICU.
And is there an estimated release date for Lainey?
The last time I spoke with the nurse that was on duty, or actually, excuse me, the case manager, Veronica, she stated that no sooner than 4 weeks, possibly 6 weeks.
And upon Lainey's release from the hospital, what is the plan for her placement?
She will be with maternal grandmother as well, where Tep is.
And can you clarify for me who is in the home with maternal grandmother?
As far as I know, it's just maternal grandfather, maternal grandmother, and Modest's 2 older children, Chelsea Modest, and then Tef.
I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Mullinax,
No questions.
Mr. Nowak.
Briefly, and this is a real simple one. Ms. Tidwell, I didn't catch who you work for.
I work for St. Francis Ministry, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That's all I have, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right. Does Ms. Tidwell need to stay with us?
Yes, Your Honor, and I need to recall Angelica very briefly to cover the older 2 children.
Okay. Ms. Taylor, if you'd unmute again, please. All right, she's under oath. You can proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Taylor, can you explain what was arranged to prevent the removal of Ms. Mott's 2 older children?
So Ms. Motz and her mother had already signed a care, custody, and control previously. So we had that continue to remain and asked that Ms. Motz leave the children there and that she's not allowed around them unsupervised as well.
And was that agreed to by Ms. Motz?
Yes.
Now, importantly, do these 2 older children have a different father than Mr. Caldwell?
Yes, they do.
Okay. And was that arrangement made in order to prevent removal of the 2 older children?
Yes.
And had they been living with the grandmother and not with Ms. Motz at the time of removal?
Yes.
And as well, was Ms. Motz the primary caretaker of Lainey and Tuff at the time of removal?
Yes.
Okay, I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Anyone else have further questions for Ms. Taylor?
I have a question.
Okay.
Ms. Taylor, you said earlier that Ms. Modest wouldn't follow any agreements, but you're saying that she's agreed with her mother. So what's the difference between her mother's agreement with her and the other agreements that you say she won't abide by?
At that point, I had already informed her that we would be removing, and I explained to her about the care, custody, and control they signed. So she agreed to follow that. She didn't agree to follow past safety plans. Well, she agreed and they were violated in the past.
Pass the witness.
Anyone else?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Gutierrez, any other witnesses?
Your Honor, I call Ms. Chelsea Motts very briefly just to clear up a name discrepancy.
Okay. Ma'am, if you don't. If you're on a phone, try hit *6.
And Your Honor, if it works better, I can just ask Aaron Molinax to email me Ms. Mott's full legal name. We had found her name as Motts, M-O-T-T-S in one place and then M-O-T-T-S in other places. And I was just trying to clear that issue up.
Ms. Molinax, do you know, since we can't get her to unmute?
Well, I mean, there she's unmuted, but it's it's spelled on her screen M-O-T-T-E-S.
Yeah, is that your legal name, ma'am? M-O-T-T-E-S?
Yes.
Okay, and I've heard you called Motts, and I've heard you called Modest. What?
It's modest.
Okay, all right. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay, anything else, Ms. Gutierrez?
No, Your Honor, that's all. The department rests.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Molinax, witnesses.
And I'd call Chelsea Modest.
Okay. Ms. Modest, if you raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Ms. Molinax.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chelsea, were you present on the Zoom hearing when Angelica Taylor testified?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you remember her testifying that you told her that Corey Caldwell lived with you?
Yes.
As of October 18th of 2024, was Corey Caldwell living at your residence?
He was never living with me. He was just coming when he was sober and comes to see the kids and then leaves.
Okay. And you understand that he was on probation for assaulting you while you were pregnant, correct?
Yes.
You understand there's an order that says he cannot have contact with you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so why have you been allowing him to have contact with you since that order?
After before he signed the order, I called the DA, and the DA told us that his probation officer.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to hearsay.
And Your Honor, my argument was how she acted, what she was relying on as to the way she acted, her action.
I'm just saying she can't testify to what the probation officer said.
Okay, what was your belief? You can't say the DA told me this or probation told me this. What was your belief? Why did you allow him to be around?
I believe that he was going to get sober and do the right things for our family and get the help that he wanted. And I seen him going to rehab and stuff. So I continued to let him be around when he was sober and stuff. He's a different person when he's sober.
Did you understand that he would have an order that didn't allow him to be around you, or did you think something else?
I thought something totally different.
Okay. What did you think? And I'm not saying tell me who told you, but what did you think was going to happen?
I thought he was just on probation, and I didn't know that it was no contact. I understood that it was probation. And then when I found out it was no contact, I was told we could get it dismissed and stuff, and that we were trying to, and his counselor was trying to get it dismissed.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to hearsay to both of those responses as far as what other people told her.
Sustained as to what anyone else told her.
And Chelsea, with regard to that, I believe in Ms. Taylor's report, it says that you knew that there was a protective order and that you were violating that protective order. So can you explain to the court why you made that statement?
Because I found out when I called his I found out when I called somebody to turn him in, to tell them where he was at, that there was no contact order, and I thought a protective order was a no contact order, but I found out that there was never a protective order, and I called her and told her that.
Okay, and so when you said there was a protective order and you were violating it, you were of the understanding that the no contact order was the same as the protective order?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And with regard to him being at the hospital to see Lainey, can you tell the court, well, first off, were you allowing him to see the kids when he was sober?
Yes.
Okay. Tell the court what precautions you were taking to allow him to be around the kids when he was sober.
I would make him stay at somebody's house that wasn't sober or that was sober, and that I would make him get a UA, do a UA on him. And then anytime he walk in this house, I would make him take off his clothes, shower, wash his body off, and not be able to touch any of the kids until he was completely clean.
And did you believe that you were doing the right thing in having him do all those things?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that there was a no contact order and he wasn't supposed to be around them even if he was sober?
I didn't know it was with the kids. I only thought it was with me.
All right. And so if he were to get out of jail, what is your plan to continue his visitation with the kids or not?
I would hope that y'all had something set up, if it's at my mom's house or if it's with your St. Francis.
Well, let me ask you this. What are you asking the court to do today?
I want my children back in my custody. I want to go to see Lainey anytime. Getting told that you can't see your newborn that needs you right now is the worst thing on earth.
And hold on, okay? Hold on.
Okay.
So you're asking the court to allow you to have your children back today? Is that what you said?
Yes.
And so you understand that if you had your children back, that St. Francis couldn't really put anything into effect about visitation with Corey. You get that?
I didn't know that. I thought they could.
And
we have a child support court coming up too.
Is that in Potter County?
I think it's Randall.
Is there a hearing set in December for that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And do you have any plans on bonding Corey out of jail?
No.
What is your plan to have contact with Corey at this point?
I don't have any.
Have you had contact with him since he's been in jail?
No, ma'am.
And with regard to the children, they're currently at your mom's, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it correct? Was it correct when it was stated by Ms. Tidwell that you're visiting Tough at your mother's residence?
Yeah, but the visitation is wrong.
What do you mean it's wrong?
They changed it, and then Miss Taylor was supposed to call her and change it again because those are the days that my older son has football and he won't even be there for visitation at all.
Okay, but it was correct what was testified to earlier about the visitation, though. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And so with regard to Lainey, she was born on what day?
October 2nd.
And so she's just over a month old, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know why she was premature?
My water broke, and I'm pretty sure it broke at 20 weeks, and they just kept telling me no, no, no. And I kept going into the hospital, and finally, when I was in clinic, they said yes, it did, and they kept filling it up and sending me back home. And then finally they were like, okay, we can't do this anymore.
Okay, and so there was some testimony that you had said something about pills. Was her premature birth due to any drug use by you?
No, I haven't touched any drugs since I was 16 years old.
All right, and the pills, is it correct? Ms. Taylor testified that you said you don't touch any pills because you don't want to be addicted to them. Is that correct?
It's more so like, if you've ever been a drug addict, like it's just like the motion of you're doing something wrong when you're not. You're supposed to take them for medical things, but my doctor has to remind me that it's okay and you can.
And did you submit to drug testing with the department?
Yes.
We talked about if the judge names a department temporary managing conservator, you had a couple requests with regard to Lainey. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you doing about breast milk at this point?
I'm pumping, but because I don't get that time with her that I need, it's decreasing more.
Like drying up?
Yeah.
And so what are you requesting with regard to visiting Lainey to breastfeed her?
Back to my normal schedule that I was on before all of this happened. Either once a day or twice a day, skin to skin. She even started decreasing in her health too since I stopped going there.
And with regard to the breast milk, was it correct that you can pump and take it to the Ronald McDonald house across the hall?
Yes.
And so as far as you're aware, has there been any concern about getting the breast milk to her from you?
No, sometimes they're confused on, a lot of the nurses were confused on what milk she was on and all of that stuff the last time I was there.
And with regard to both Lainey, if she's out of the hospital, and Tough, they're 10 months apart from each other?
Yeah.
And so has Tough had any holidays at this point?
No.
What are you requesting for holidays?
Well, Puff has had Christmas and Easter and stuff, but not any of the holidays coming up.
And how old is he at Christmas?
Just like a week or 3 days old.
Okay, so what are you requesting for the holidays coming up?
To be able to go to my mom's house for the holidays.
And so the visitation right now, is it your understanding it will continue to be through your mom, or do you know?
I don't know.
Are you requesting that to happen?
Yes.
All right. With regard to Mr. Caldwell, did you take any other precautions to keep the children safe when he was around?
Yes.
What?
If he started, I would call the cops anytime that he would start, getting loud, yelling. I would call them to, just have him escorted out and try to avoid a situation.
And how many times has that happened since he was put on probation in May?
Not, just the September 20th.
And what happened on that day?
I met him up. I didn't even have the kids with me. I met him to go get diapers because his friend bought me some. And I shouldn't have gone. I made the mistake of going because I could tell that he was already in a mood. And I ended up going there and he was just screaming and yelling at me, telling me like all of this is my fault because I called the cops in May and that he messed up probation and everything and that his life was over and he was going to go to prison. And I just kept telling him, you need to turn yourself in. You need to get help. You need to see somebody for your help, like ask somebody for your help. And he kept telling me he would, but then like I don't even know why. He just started screaming at me, telling me like I need to shut my mouth. And that's the reason why we got in the situation we're in, because I don't know how to stop talking.
And did you call the police on that date?
Yes.
All right. Do you believe that you can keep your children safe?
Yes, 100%. I've kept my two older safe from their fathers for a very, very long time.
And you understand that older two aren't involved in this case, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We're just talking about the little ones. Do you believe you can keep the little ones safe?
Yes, I can.
And are you asking the court to deny the petition for protection?
Yes.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Modest, you talked about if Mr. Caldwell got out of jail
to see the kids at your mother's house. Does your mother want to have anything whatsoever to do with Mr. Caldwell?
Um, for the children, she would let them. She has that with my son, my oldest son's dad. She does supervise, but he's never showed up. So for the kids' sake, she would. She doesn't deny any father the chance to be a father. Corey wants to be a father more than anything. He just doesn't know how to.
Well, I read in the report that he was associated with the Aryan Brotherhood. Was that correct?
He's not anymore. He was, but
That's what I said. I said he was associated with.
yes, sir.
And I read in the report that he fears that if he's sent to prison, he'll be killed.
Yes, sir.
If he were to get out of jail get out of jail, period, the way he's thinking, do you feel safe having him visit your children, even at your mother's? Sounds like a desperate man to me.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't like that at all. Just because I think that he would have to take a lot of steps to see, I would want him to be sober for a year before anything,
Okay.
before unsupervised visitations, or, if it has to be through the state, if it has to be through, someone else, just
Okay,
because.
I understand. And if I understood in reading the report, and if I understood your testimony, you actually called law enforcement to tell him where he was so that he'd be arrested, and that you wanted him to go to safety.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Or
Thank you.
IEP or whatever, the longer one.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Nowak, questions.
Just very, very briefly, Judge. Good afternoon, Ms. Modest. My name is Vince Nowak, and I represent Mr. Caldwell. And it looks like Tuff was born in December of 23, and Laney was born in October of 24, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you told the court earlier that Mr. Caldwell was a member of the Aryan Nation.
Yes, sir.
When did you find that out?
3 months after we started dating, and then a month after we started dating, they X'd him out.
He got kicked out of the Aryan Nation.
Yes.
Did you know he was in the Aryan Nation group before you started making babies with him?
Yes.
Who is Cutter, and how old is he?
Cutter is my son, and he is 7 years old.
Same question with Lillian.
She is 15, and she is my daughter.
And they live with your mom and dad?
So the agreement was that they would keep him on the weekdays, and then I keep him on the weekends just because of school.
Is that agreement you have with your parents, or was that an agreement imposed by the court?
That was an agreement by my parents because I was having a difficulty pregnancy with both pregnancies.
And are Cutter and Lillian still with your parents?
Yes.
And I apologize, you said they keep them during the week and you have them on the weekends?
Yes, before all of this, yes, sir.
Okay, and are you exercising those visits on the weekends?
No, not now.
When's the last time you had Cutter and Lillian for the weekend?
Before I had Laney.
So before October of this year, a couple months ago?
Yes, sir. In September.
Okay. Judge, that's all I have. Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right. Anyone have further questions for Ms. Modest?
I haven't had an opportunity to ask questions, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Montez, did you make a call? Did you talk on the phone with Corey Caldwell in jail on October 19th, 2024?
Is that he called me from jail the first day and told me he was there. I didn't think it was him though. I thought it was somebody else.
Okay. How long were you on the phone for him for?
Not even 3 minutes, I think.
Okay. Just a second, Your Honor. Let me take care of something real quick.
Okay.
I apologize for having to do that. And then have you contacted the DA's office before today to ask for Mr. Caldwell's charges to be dropped?
I contacted them back in September to ask them why he got an assault charge when it was a threat charge, because I didn't understand it.
Did you ask them to drop that charge? Yes or no?
No.
And you said that dad was threatening you on September 20th and that you called the police. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you agree you continued to see him in person after that?
Yes, a couple weeks later.
And you continue to let him be around the children after that as well, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you stated that there was domestic violence with your previous husband?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. What stuff of Corey's were you packing during your move?
All his clothes and stuff that he's left here over 2 years.
And were you aware that that the department drug screened Tough for drugs?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been told about those results?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's your explanation for those results?
I called Miss Taylor to ask her how that could be possible when I took the measures that I did. And she explained to me that it could be passed by oil and sweat, and I didn't know that. And I thought I was doing everything I could possible to make my children safe and stuff.
So was that drug methamphetamine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Tough tested positive for methamphetamine, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness.
Anyone else? All right, then. Ms. Mullinex, did you have any other witnesses?
No, you're on arrest.
All right, thank you. Mr. Nowak, any witnesses?
Rest, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ingram, recommendations?
Continue department as temporary managing conservator, continue placement as is, no contact between the father and the children until further court order.
Okay. All right, then. Based on what I've heard, I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, continue Tough's current placement. Obviously, Laney's still in the NICU, but I will approve if she's released from the hospital. I will approve the placement. If I understood the testimony right, I'll approve Laney's placement with maternal grandparents also. I'm going to order no contact between Mr. Caldwell and I'd like to order no contact with the two older ones. I don't think it'll happen, but I can't do that. So, and that's absolutely no contact by phone, any type of device, or in person. All right. As far as Miss Modis and Laney, I'm going to order that Miss Modis be allowed to visit Laney at the hospital during normal visiting hours. I'm not going to put a limit on it as long as she's in the hospital. The hospital knows how to protect children from being removed. And I will also order that she be allowed to breastfeed Laney during those visits, as she put it, skin to skin. I'm going to order that, and I don't know how to, I guess I'll have to put a time limit on it somehow. I'm going to order that Miss Modis be allowed to see the children on Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day, supervised by the maternal grandmother. I don't know how you're going to work that. That's between you and your mother. But now, if Laney, and it'll be supervised. I don't know. This is going to be really confusing, but this is what I'm ordering. If Laney's still in the hospital, then your mother doesn't have to supervise that on Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, or Christmas Day. But if she's released, then your mother has to supervise all of your contacts with both children. So, and I'm not going to put a time limit on it. Obviously, everybody trusts your mother to keep your kids. So I trust her to be the judge of how long. So, all right. I'm sorry about that, Ms. Gutierrez. That's going to be a confusing order to draft.
I'll do my best, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay. Our next hearing in this, the status hearing, that will be December 9th, 2024. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court at a day or two in advance of December 9th, exactly what time we'll have that recess. Everybody have a good week.
Your Honor, one more thing, please.
Yes, ma'am.
We ask for a finding of reasonable efforts made by the department to both prevent removal as well as reunify since removal.
Okay, I will make those findings.
And I have a question also.
Yes, ma'am.
The supervision by her mother, you said you weren't going to limit it. Is that all at all times or just on those holidays? Well,
with her mother, I'm really trying to think of Lainey more, but I don't want her basically living with her mother just because I didn't put a limit on it. I'd say, I don't know what's the current schedule for her seeing Tough.
Your Honor, I believe it was testified that the current schedule is that she's getting 2 hours a week, 1 hour on Tuesday, 1 hour on Thursday. They are at Placement's home, but they are being supervised by a St. Francis worker. They're not being supervised by the grandmother. I understand the court has carved out an exception for the holidays of Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
Christmas, and Christmas Eve. We just ask that that exception not be extended further than those holiday visits.
I think that's wise at this point. So yeah, we'll treat it only for those holidays. And I'm not going to make some worker work on those holidays just so that we can be sure. I trust Grandma to do what's right. So, okay.
I knew that was going to come up as an issue as soon as we left. So I just wanted to make sure.
Well, I'm glad you did. I was busy trying to figure out how to announce what was going on in my head. So,
May I ask a question about my older children? Because
Yeah.
my son has football playoffs coming up and they're in Lubbock. And I don't know how that's gonna work out and stuff.
well, if I understand your question, ma'am, I'm not making any orders about your older children. They're not part of this case.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's no orders in place involving your older children having to do with when you can see them, I'm not making any orders. You're free to do what you want. Now, if there's something I'm not aware of and there is some kind of order when you can and can't see your two oldest children, then you better follow that order. So,
No, sir, there's not. Their dads are not involved.
okay, no, ma'am, I'm not making any orders about the two older children.
Okay. Thank you.
Chelsea, I'll talk to you about that also in a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna take about a 5-minute break, and for those of you involved, then I'll be back to get started at a hearing. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Well, she's not with us yet, but she's there. There she is. Okay. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the children. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the mother. Ms. Matsu is with us. The father, Mr. Caldwell, is not with us, nor is his attorney, Vince Nowak. I've got James Saint in the waiting room, and I don't show him on anything, at least anything I could see this morning. I'm going to bring him in to see if possibly he could be covering for Mr. Nowak. In the meantime, Ms. Gutierrez, who do you need in?
My caseworker is Angela Tidwell, and there might be another St. Francis supervisor in there.
Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. We also request that the court take judicial notice of the court report filed on November 26th of 2024.
All right, so noted, and I did read that report.
Thank you, sir. Angela, who do you work for?
I work for St. Francis.
And what do you do for them?
I'm a permanency specialist.
And are you assigned to help the family of Chelsea Matez and Corey Caldwell?
Yes, ma'am.
And are the children Tuff and Lainey Lou?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any updates on Tuff since the filing of the court report?
He's doing wonderful. He's healthy and he's doing great in placement.
And are they in a relative placement?
Yes, ma'am.
And how is Lainey doing? Let me interrupt for just a second. Mr. Nowak's just come into the waiting room. Let's get him in. Sorry. Morning, Mr. Nowak.
Apologies, Judge. I had it down for 9:20 for some reason. And then I heard my name in the background. I had YouTube just so I can kind of paste the docket. And I heard my name. I apologize to everyone.
That's all right. We just now got started. Your client is not in the waiting room, but I'll keep watching in case he shows up.
He's not. I spoke to him yesterday, Judge, but he won't be here today.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Ms. Gutierrez, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Angela, I think I was asking for an update on Lainey.
Yes, as of December 3rd, she's speeding at 65%. She's still in ICU, which means she's taken 65% of her bottle. They did an MRI on her and the MRI came back normal. And there's a meeting scheduled for December 12th for possible, for her to be released from NICU, but she's doing well. She's doing well.
And for clarification, if she's released from NICU, does that mean she's released from the hospital?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Since the filing of the court report, are there any updates on Ms. Matez?
Yes. Chelsea has completed 3 of her domestic violence classes out of the 14 requested. She's also completed her parenting classes. She has done 6 or 5 sessions with her therapist, and she's given me negative drug screens.
And can you please provide an update on Mr. Caldwell since the filing of the court report?
Yes, I have gone to see Mr. Caldwell, and he has agreed to the family plan of service and signed. I reached out to Randall County to see if there were any services he could complete while at Randall County. And unfortunately, at this time, they don't have any services that he can do while at Randall County.
In regards to visitation, how is mom's visitation with Tough going?
Visits are going well. Starting this week, we've increased visits from 2 hours to 6 hours.
And who is supervising the 6-hour visits?
Starting this week, it is going to be Jennifer, placement.
And in regards to the father, he is currently in Randall County Jail. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So am I correct in assuming that there's no visitation? He's not able to do visitation at this time?
No, ma'am.
Have you created service plans for the family?
Yes, ma'am.
And do the service plans for the parents aim to mitigate the reasons for removal?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they reasonably tailored to the issues for the removal as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And very briefly, what were the main issues for the removal?
The main issues were domestic violence, failure to protect against domestic violence, and drug exposure to the children. To Tough, excuse me.
Can you please identify 2 to 3 services specific to Ms. Mottes?
Yes, ma'am. She's required to attend domestic violence classes. She's required to complete parenting classes and also therapy sessions.
And can you please identify 2 to 3 services unique to Mr. Caldwell?
Yes, ma'am. He's required to do BIP classes, which is batterer intervention classes, also anger management, and then drug screening.
Has Ms. Mottes reviewed and signed?
Yes, ma'am.
And did Mr. Caldwell review the family plans of service as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he sign his family plan of service?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we asking the court for any drug screens to be ordered today?
Not today, no, ma'am.
And is the preparation of the family plans of service part of the department's reasonable efforts to return the children to the family?
Yes, ma'am.
As well as you connecting the mother with the services she's already started on, is that a reasonable effort as well?
Yes, ma'am.
In regards to visitation, mom's visiting both children, and is that a reasonable effort as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Are there any other requests we need to make of the court?
No, ma'am.
Would it be contrary to the children's welfare if there were return to the parents today?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there a continuing danger to the children, to their health, physical health and safety if return to the parents today?
Yes.
Pass the witness.
Thank you. Ms. Tidwell, do you know what Mr. Caldwell's in jail for?
Not exactly, sir.
Okay. I guess then if you wouldn't know of any potential release date, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, then Ms. Mullenix, questions?
Yes, thank you. Ms. Tidwell, you just testified that it's contrary to the children's welfare to be returned to Ms. Modest. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you told Ms. Modest that the children should be home with her?
I've stated that services need to be started and worked on, and that we're working towards reunifying the children with her. Yes, ma'am.
So you haven't told her that you don't understand why the children are not with her?
No, ma'am.
And you said that earlier at the beginning of your testimony, you said that Tough is doing wonderfully. Where do you get your information when you get updates from Tough or on Tough?
See him in person, face to face, and I speak to Jennifer, who is his maternal grandmother.
Are you aware that he's not sleeping all night anymore?
She did state that he had had issues sleeping at night, but she had also stated that he had allergy problems, which is noted. I noted.
Are you aware that he's not eating like he was?
That was not made aware to me. They told me that he likes to eat everything, actually. So no, ma'am, I was unaware of that.
And with regard to Lainey, you said that there was a meeting scheduled for the 12th to determine if she's going to be released. So what would her visitation with mom be upon her release, since Tough is getting 6 hours starting this week?
Yes, ma'am. It would be the same. 6
And you
hours
said-
a week.
And you said that's going to be supervised by Jennifer, the grandmother, starting this week, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Prior to this week, were there several visits that were canceled by the workers or supervisors?
From my understanding, they were rescheduled and it had to do with both parties back and forth. Yes.
And you said that you specifically listed 3 services for Ms. Modest that were, I guess, the most important, and that was therapy. And you said she's done 506 as of today. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you gotten in touch with the therapist to get an update, or do you do that after 6 sessions?
I will request therapy notes. And no, I have not yet.
All right. And so is she supposed to do at this moment in time, is she set to do 6 sessions?
It's 6 or released from her therapist is what it states in the family plan.
And since you haven't gotten the records, you're not sure. Would that be fair to say?
No, I haven't got the records because she's not completed 6 yet. Then I'll get the records and we'll discuss it further.
And you said that she's fully completed her parenting classes.
Yes.
Okay. And that she's done 3 of 14 DV classes, domestic violence classes. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
How often are those?
Weekly.
And so as long as once a week, I guess?
Yes, ma'am.
And so as long as she attends weekly, she should be done in just a couple months. Well, a few months.
Yes, ma'am.
And has she been doing everything that the department has requested of her, or St. Francis has requested of her?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Mr. Nowak?
No questions, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ingram?
Sorry, I couldn't get unmuted. I have no questions, but on the dad's charges, I just looked them up. He has 2 charges showing on the jail roster, one for assault, family violence, and one for assault of a pregnant person.
Okay.
And Judge, that assault on a pregnant person's a motion to proceed, I believe.
Okay. All right. All right, then, Ms. Gutierrez, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, the department rests. We do ask the court take findings, or rather make the findings that the department has made reasonable efforts to reunify the family.
All right, I will make those findings. All right, then, Ms. Mullinex, did you have any witnesses?
Judge, is there a Jennifer Stagner in the waiting room?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to call her.
Okay.
Grandmother.
And are you current placement as well for, well, at least Tough at this moment?
Yes.
And is it your understanding that Lainey will be also coming to your home when she's released from the hospital?
Yes.
And with regard to Tough, has he been in your place, in your residence since the removal?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell the court how he's doing in general? I don't want you to tell me anything anybody's told you, but how he's doing.
He's a good child, but he's still he's not sleeping at night like he was. His eating is a little off. Chelsea had him on a good schedule and he was eating good regularly. Everything was fine. And now that he's over here, it's all messed up for him. He's not on a schedule.
Okay, hold on. So you talked about the sleeping. How was he sleeping when he first came to your residence?
When he first came, he wasn't.
Has it got?
I'm sorry.
Has it gotten better since he came?
No.
Okay, so tell me, like, what do you mean he wasn't sleeping?
He just whines during the night. I mean, he will go to sleep when he's tired, but then it's never a restful sleep.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to speculation.
The same.
Whenever you have Tough during the day, has he acted the same or different from whenever he came to your house?
The same. Yes.
How does he act during the day?
He plays. He likes to watch movies and play. But he's, oh, that's the way he does.
And so you said a minute ago about how he'll go to sleep. Do you observe him while he's sleeping?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you observe physically with him while he's sleeping?
He's very restless. He's a mover. And sometimes he'll just start whining. But while sleeping, he doesn't, to me, it's like he's never getting that real good sleep.
And with regard to his eating, you said that Chelsea had him on a schedule, but that he's not really anymore. Is he eating sufficiently or not?
Yes.
All right. Is there anything special that you have to give him for him to eat?
No, he, and I want to say when he eats, it's not like he'll eat a whole thing of baby food or he's now starting to eat regular food. But it's not ever enough, so he always wants more bottles.
And so he's still on a bottle at this time?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to object at this time. It is a status hearing. I don't believe placement being changed is up for review on a status hearing.
And Judge, I'm not.
I do object to relevance.
Overruled. I haven't heard anybody ask for a change of placement, but she's entitled to go into how the children are doing. So go ahead, Ms. Mullinax.
With regard to specifically Tough, my understanding is the visits are going to be supervised by you starting this week, but that's not what's been happening. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And so where do the visits take place whenever mom has visits with Tough at this point, up until today?
At my house, except for one visit, and it was to accommodate St. Francis. And we had it at the house, at what they call the house.
The visitation house?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so even though the visits are at your house, is it my understanding that someone else is supervising up until today?
That is correct.
Okay. And so whenever, after those visits, do you see any kind of changes in Tough?
Yeah.
And what changes do you see in Tough after he has the visits with his mother?
He doesn't cry a lot. He does this growl, and he starts growling more, and he keeps looking at the door like, I don't know what he's thinking, but I would assume it's like, where'd she go?
Does he act out or anything? I mean, I know he's only about a year old, but does he do anything to act out?
Not really. He's just not very happy. I mean, he doesn't usually, it'll take him an hour or so to get back into it.
And have you been informed that the visits are going to 6 hours supervised by you starting this week?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any belief if that will help with Tough? And if you don't know, that's fine. You just tell us you don't know.
I don't know at this point.
Does Tough have any special needs at this point that you have to accommodate for him?
No.
Do you have any concerns about Tough as of today?
My main concern is him losing contact with his mother.
I'll pass the witness.
All right. Ms. Stegner, do you work?
No, sir. Retired.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is Judge Graham. But you said that Ms. Modest had Tough on an eating schedule, and now he's not on any kind of schedule. Why didn't you just keep the same eating schedule that mom had him on?
I have 3 of her children here, and it's just doesn't play out because I still have to take care of the other 2, get them to school, and it was just, and because he's not sleeping like he was sleeping, it's hard to keep him on that schedule because I wanted him to get as much sleep as he can.
Okay. So you have a total of 4 kids in your house now?
No, I have 3 with 1 more expected as soon as she gets out of the hospital.
And are the other two, we're not talking about Tuff or Laney, but are the other two Miss Modest's children also?
Yes, sir.
All right. How did you come to have them? Why do you have those kids?
Originally it was due to a CPS case, but then we just kept the arrangements because Cutter goes to school a few blocks from me. So it was so that the kids stayed with me during the week and then they would go home to mom on the weekends.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Ms. Gutierrez, any questions for Ms. Stegner?
None, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Nowak?
No, sir.
Mr. Ingram?
No questions.
All right. Ms. Mullinex, any other witnesses?
I called Chelsea Modest.
Okay. We're going to have to do that quickly. We've got 4 minutes left for this hearing. So, Ms. Matas, if you would, let me find you here. There she is. Okay. Ms. Matas, if you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Mullinex?
Thank you. All right, Chelsea, I'm going to just ask you a question, answer exactly what I asked you so we can get done quickly, okay?
Okay.
Tell me, you're visiting Lainey at the hospital while she's in the hospital, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What are your concerns with Lainey at this point?
Her tremors and her blood. Her blood isn't working like ours does.
And is that being monitored by the hospital as far as you're aware?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have concerns about when she's released from the hospital, what will happen?
Yes.
Why?
Because at this point, I see her, I go to 11 visit and then the 5 visit, and I stay for up to 2 to 3 hours until usually her next feeding. It just depends.
And you understand, or maybe you didn't, but did you hear today that you're going to be getting 6 hours supervised by your mother?
Yes.
And so would that be about what you're getting at this time, even though it's separated into 2 visits per day?
I get more with Lainey than I do with Tuff.
Right now you do?
Yeah.
But you're going to be getting the 6 hours with Tuff. So is that going to be the same amount that you get with Lainey about at this time?
No.
You get even more with Lainey.
Yeah.
Have you seen improvement in Lainey at this point?
Yes.
All right. And how about Tuff? What are your concerns with Tuff?
The schedule, the sleeping and the not eating, and then just when I am there, like he's super happy. He's a happy baby. And then the last 2 months, it's just kind of been decreased.
And since I said like we're doing quick, what are you asking the court to do today?
I would love them to be back in my home, obviously.
And if he doesn't send them back to your home, what are you asking for?
More visits. If it's supervised by my mom, I don't see why I couldn't go every day and visit my kids, especially when she comes out, because I know last time I wasn't allowed to go there. Her improvement decreased when she was way above, her age level at that time. And now I'm getting her back to, getting good at her drinking bottles. I'm the only one that can get her to drink a full bottle. The other ones are still tube feeding. And then, so if she doesn't come home, or if I don't get that visit with her, I think she'll decrease again.
I pass the witness.
Ms. Montes, why does your mother have your 2 older children? I heard there was a CPS case, but basically she said when it was over, y'all just left that same arrangement.
It was kind of helping me because I was pregnant and I was having a horrible pregnancy, and then having Tuff and stuff. It just kind of helped. I like the Canyon ISD instead of Amarillo ISD, and she lives in Canyon School District. I live in Amarillo School District because I couldn't find a house in Canyon. So it just kind of helped. My daughter is on virtual, so it's kind of more quiet. It was more quiet over there, so she could do her work over there and not have the baby or me interrupting and stuff. So it just kind of helped out. Like I go over there every single day. Well, I did before. I went over there every single day. We had a schedule, that once Tuff woke up, I would be over there and visiting the kids or taking them to football, or I take them to the doctor's appointments and everything still. They just stayed over there for school.
Okay. Do you work?
I actually am supposed to start tonight or
Okay.
tomorrow.
And what about your housing? The original intake I read, housing was an issue.
No, I have a house. I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in South Lawn.
Do you rent or own?
I rent.
Okay, maybe I'm getting my cases confused. So, okay, thank you, ma'am. Ms. Gutierrez, any questions?
Yes, I do have a question. At the time that Laney and Tuff were removed, did you not enter into a safety plan or an agreement for your older 2 children to remain with the mother to avoid removal of them as well?
Yeah.
Okay, pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Nowak.
No questions, Judge.
Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right, then. Ms. Mullinax, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, but I did want to clarify for you. I think the removal affidavit said that maybe she was behind on her rent at some point, but but the new report says that she has stable housing.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, let's see, where did I get? Mr. Nowak, did you tell me you had no witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge. Just for the court's information and counsel, my guy's got a speedy trial hearing on the 17th of this month, and he's represented by Judge by Pam Sermon. That's all I've got.
Okay, and was that correct that his assault on a pregnant person is a motion to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, then, Mr. Ingram, any witnesses?
No, sir.
All right, recommendations, Mr. Ingram?
Continue department as temporary managing conservator, continue placement as is.
Do you have any problem with letting Miss Matis go to her mother's house on a daily basis?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, then I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue the current placements. I'm going to order the services for both parents as contained in their service plans. I will, I don't know that I was asked to do this, but I will order that Ms. Matis's visitation can be supervised by Ms. Stagner at her residence. I don't know about time limits. I'm going to order that Ms. Matis can go on a daily basis to Ms. Stagner's house to help her with all these kiddos that are all Ms. Matis's kiddos. I'm not going to necessarily put a limit on it. Ms. Stagner and Ms. Matis, this isn't a get out of jail free where you can just go back and live with your mom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. If it becomes an issue, somebody from St. Francis or the department will bring it up, and then I may be forced to put a limit on it. But it sounds like your mother could use the help, and it sounds like, they're all your kids. You should be helping more. So I think that's appropriate. So just don't make me sorry I did it. Okay. One other thing, Ms. Matis, I have to admonish you that the services contained in your service plan become a court order today. At a final hearing, if you haven't completed those services, your parental rights could be altered or terminated. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have to tell you that. It sounds like you're off to a great start with your services, so I applaud you for that. All right, our next hearing will be an initial permanency hearing on April 7th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court online docket a day or two in advance of April 7th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. Okay, we will. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram is with us representing the child. Ms. Archer is with us representing the mother. Ms. Carvey, who is with us, and the father, Mr. Hester, is not with us and not in the waiting room. This case was set for 2:30. It's 2:36. We'll proceed in Mr. Hester's absence. I have Shay Grant and Cassandra Vasquez in the waiting room.
If they could both be let in, please, Your Honor. Shay is the future St. Francis worker on the case, and Cassandra is my investigator.
Okay, let's get them both in. Okay. They're both in and both connected to the audio, so we are ready to proceed, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do inquire with Ms. Archer if her client is agreeable to the adversary hearing.
My client is willing to work the services just in order to receive the department's help with the child.
So you're Miss Archer, then your client's agreeable to the department continuing as temporary managing conservator, and I don't even know where Phoenix is currently placed, but placement to continue as far as today?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right, then Mr. Ingram, are you in agreement with that?
I am, Judge, and Phoenix is currently in the youth center of the High Plains, but it's my understanding that she's supposed to be released and picked up by the department today, but I don't know if they know where she's going to yet.
Who would know that that's with us?
It would be, let me see. I believe Shay would know that. Your Honor. I do want to point out, though, before we move too far along, that we filed for joint managing conservatorship with the mother, Miss Archer's client. And the father was named a possessory conservator in a previous order out of Potter County that we will be transferring and consolidating into our case. So we ask that the mother be named a temporary joint managing conservator along with the department, and that the father continue as temporary possessory. And I can call Shay Grant as a witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
The department calls Shay Grant as a witness.
All right, Ms. Grant, if you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Shay, can you tell us what arrangements for placement St. Francis has made for the child?
So we have a pending placement. It's an RTC in the Houston area. They cannot accept her until tomorrow, though.
And if she's being released today, what's the plan for her overnight?
Our placement team is looking for a temporary placement. If we don't get that, if we don't have one available, she'll be in Office Watch.
And Office Watch now has actual homes where the children stay. Is that correct?
Yes.
So for clarification of the record, she wouldn't actually be in your office. Is that correct?
It's not actually in office. That's right.
Okay, good. All right, I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Archer, any question?
No questions.
Okay. Mr. Ingram?
No questions.
All right. Okay, then I will name the department and Ms. Carvey as temporary joint managing conservators. I will continue Mr. Hester as a temporary possessory conservator. I'll approve, based on what I've heard today, I'll approve placement of Phoenix at the RTC in Houston that we talked about beginning tomorrow. And I will approve the agreement that I've heard concerning what would happen if she has to be released from the youth center tonight to be placed in one of the homes that we talked about. So, okay, our status hearing, next hearing will be on December 9th, 2024. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before December 9th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. I appreciate y'all working that out. We'll stand in recess on this case, and for those of you involved, I'll be back at 3:30 to call adversary hearing. Another Randall County Gutierrez is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram is with us representing the child. Mr. Hill's with us representing the father, Mr. Cervantes. He is not in the waiting room. Mr. Hill, were you expecting him?
Judge, I don't know. I've never had any contact with him. I reached out to the only number I had, which was to his wife, Ms. Stanley, I believe, with a text message, and never heard back from her. So I
don't
know.
Okay, all right, thank you. And then Ms. McDaniel is with us representing the mother, Ms. Stanley. She is not with us either. Ms. McDaniel, have you heard from her?
She's actually trying to get on, Your Honor.
Okay.
She was having problems with it.
Okay. All right. We'll give it a bit. So I'll watch the waiting room and then I'll be back. In the meantime, I have Jared Ariano, Brandy Pate, and Abigail Lawrence. Who do we need in?
Brandy is the investigative supervisor. She could be brought in. Jared is the investigator, if he can be brought in. And Abigail Lawrence will be my first witness, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll get them all in. Okay, Ms. Stanley, the mother, is now with us. There is no one left in the waiting room, so I guess we are ready to proceed. Ms. Gutierrez?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would like to inquire with the attorneys if there's any agreement to the adversary hearing, and just to inquire with that.
Do we need to put you in a breakout room or?
Judge, I can just volunteer since I've never spoken to my client. There's no way I can agree to waive on his behalf.
I figured that. So, yeah, so we're going to have to proceed with the hearing. So,
Yes, Your Honor. The department called, sorry.
Go ahead. First witness.
Abigail Lawrence.
Okay. Ms. Lawrence, if you'd raise your right hand. Oh, there, you already got it up. You've done this a couple of times.
Yes, sir.
You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Abigail, who do you work for?
I work for St. Francis Ministries.
And what do you do for them?
I'm a permanency specialist.
And Have you worked with Rebecca Stanley and Miguel Cervantes before?
Yes.
And what child of theirs did you work a case on?
Natalie?
And how old, well, very briefly, what were the issues for the parents in that case?
So the department received the intake for neglectful supervision. Rebecca had tested positive for methamphetamine and marijuana upon admission when delivering Gabriel. And following up with that, Gabriel tested positive for methamphetamines and marijuana on a urinalysis at the hospital.
Additionally, were there concerns of domestic violence between Rebecca and Miguel?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, the department offers petitioners exhibit number 1, an Amarillo Police Department incident report from December 16th of 2023 involving both parents.
All right, objections?
I would object to hearsay, Your Honor.
All right, I believe there's a substitute for that, so I'll overrule that objection. Any other objections? All right, petitioners 1 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Additionally, Abigail, what knowledge do you have of any criminal activity of Mr. Cervantes?
In July of this year, I would meet monthly with Miguel at the Potter County Jail, and he was arrested for assault on a family member at that time.
And to your knowledge, do you recall if he was on jail on a motion to revoke probation?
I do not have that knowledge.
Okay, that's fine. Now, during the case with Gabriel, their older child, what services did Rebecca Stanley work?
Rebecca did not work any services.
Did the services offered to her include services for substance abuse and domestic violence?
Yes, ma'am.
And in Gabriel's case, what services did Miguel work?
Miguel also did not work any services.
And the services he was offered there, were those also for drug abuse and domestic violence?
Yes, ma'am.
Additionally, is there an older child of the couple that was removed by the department?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that out of Bexar County?
Yes, ma'am.
The second, Your Honor. Your Honor, we offer at this time petitioners exhibit number 3, the status hearing order in Gabriel's 1-L2 out of Randall County.
All right, objections?
No, Your Honor.
Which exhibit number is it? I'm trying to pull them up.
That one is number 3.
All right, let me find it here.
I apologize, Your Honor. I've covered so many cases this morning. I have to just...
Okay, I found it. Okay. If there's no objections, then petitioners 3 is admitted.
Okay. Your Honor, we also offer petitioners exhibit number 2. They are medical records of Gabriel, including that positive screen for the child and mother. And that is with a business records affidavit. And that is petitioners exhibit number 2.
Objections?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, petitioners 2 is admitted.
We next offer petitioners exhibit number 5, the order of termination out of Bexar County for the child Angel.
Let me switch. Give me a second.
I'm sorry, was that exhibit 5?
Yes, it was exhibit 5. I skipped 4.
The exhibit 5 I have is a complaint, certified complaint.
So do I.
Oh boy. I am so sorry, Your Honor. I think I pulled up the wrong set. Let me start over. Again, I apologize. I've had so many hearings today. I apologize.
Teresa, I think, or Ms. Gutierrez, I think what you're looking for is exhibit 4. That's the order of termination.
Okay. let me go back and start over.
All right.
Exhibit 4 is the order of termination out of Bear County, and we offered that as an exhibit as evidence.
Okay, now I'd heard mention of a Gabriel. This is on an Angel.
Yes, Your Honor, this is the older child of Rebecca and Miguel.
All right, objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, petitioners 4 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. We next offer petitioners exhibit number 5, an order of deferred adjudication, a certified copy against Miguel Cervantes Wood for assault, family violence.
All right.
Judge, I would object. Unfortunately, Exhibit 5 that I have anyways is a certified complaint.
And your objection is what?
That it's not, it's not what she's offering. She offered a deferred order.
Well, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I agree with you that the petitioners 5 is a complaint against Miguel Angel D. Cervantes Wood.
Okay, I'm going to withdraw that offer then, Your Honor, and I'll proceed with my witness.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Lawrence, during Gabriel's case, when did the department become aware that Ms. Rebecca Stanley was pregnant again?
I initially heard that she was pregnant again by Gabriel and Angel's current caregiver. And at that point, it seemed like maybe just a family rumor. It was confirmed by Miguel in August of 2024 when he told me that she was pregnant.
Thank you, Abigail. I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. McDaniel.
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Hill.
No questions, Judge.
Mr. Ingram.
And I may have missed this, but are you aware of what the outcome was on Gabriel's case?
Yes, sir.
And what was that?
Termination of all parental rights.
And that just occurred in September of 2024, correct?
Yes, sir.
So Gabriel is currently in the permanent managing conservatorship of the department.
Yes.
And those two siblings are both placed together in Bear County, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Pass witness.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, then. Ms. Gutierrez, do you want Ms. Lawrence to stay?
She can be dismissed, Your Honor.
Right, any objections?
No.
Okay, all right, Ms. Lawrence, thank you for your testimony. I'll remove you about what's left of your afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The department, sorry.
Go ahead.
The department next calls Jared Arellano as its witness.
All right. Sir, if you'd unmute. Thank you. If you'd raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jared, who do you work for?
I work for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I am an investigator.
And have you worked with the family of Echo?
Yes, ma'am.
And where is she currently placed?
Echo is currently at Children's Hope here in Amarillo.
Okay. And who is Echo's mother?
Echo's mother is Rebecca Stanley.
Who is Echo's father?
Her father is Miguel Cervantes.
When did the department receive an intake on the family?
Yes, ma'am. We received an intake on October 18th.
Okay. Of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
What were those intake allegations?
There were concerns of amphetamine use by Rebecca Stanley as she tested positive for amphetamines during birth.
And based on those allegations, did you interview Miss Stanley?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. Did you also see Echo in the hospital?
I did.
How was she doing?
Echo was well. They did experience, they noticed some withdrawal symptoms with her just sucking a lot more frequently than usual or like normal. But other than that, she was born healthy.
And on October 18th, 2024, did you interview Miguel and Rebecca in person?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did Miss Stanley say regarding the allegations?
Miss Stanley did admit to meth use just 2 weeks prior to the birth of Echo. So yeah, she did admit meth use.
Okay. And what did Mr. Cervantes state about meth use?
He says that he hadn't, the first time that he had used meth was back in 2021, and the last time that he had used was about 2.5 months ago. And that was from October 18th, so 2 months prior to that.
What did Mr. Cervantes state regarding his probation?
He did inform me that probation would like randomly drug screen, and he would notify them that he was positive for marijuana, when in fact he was actually positive for meth. So he did tell me that. And so with him admitting that to probation that he was positive for marijuana, they wouldn't drug screen him, is what Mr. Cervantes had told me.
Now, were Miguel and Rebecca presenting themselves as a couple?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did they live?
They lived with Miguel's mother.
And with both parents admitting methamphetamine use, would an order to remove one of the parties from the home have created a safe environment for the child?
No, ma'am.
Additionally, what prior cases did the department work with the family?
Yes, ma'am. We have back in September of 2021, the department was involved for neglectful supervision of Angel. This was because, let's see, marijuana use. Angel tested positive for marijuana use at the hospital. That case was referred to family-based services with the department. A couple years later, February of 2023, the department was involved again, 1-year-old Angel. There was a safety plan put in place during this investigation because Miss Stanley was found unresponsive in her home. There were concerns of like bags of drugs on the bed. This ultimately resulted in the removal of Angel, and that was granted. And then on November, just a couple months later, or later that year of 2023, November, we received another report that Gabriel Stanley tested positive for amphetamine use on his urine and meconium during tests from the hospital.
And so would that be 3 separate occasions that the department offered services to these parents?
Yes, ma'am.
And with the most recent case only ending a few weeks ago, did that weigh in favor of removal of Echo?
Yes, ma'am.
Did that also weigh against proceeding with non-legal intervention through the Family-Based Safety Services program?
Yes, ma'am.
As well, would a parent-child safety placement not have been appropriate either?
It would have not, no, ma'am.
Could you explain why?
Say that again. Can you repeat the question?
The family, I'm sorry, a parent-child safety placement, is that something done when a family is working services through FBSS?
Correct.
And if the FBSS program was not appropriate for the family, would that also rule out a PCSP for the family?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you please describe the reasonable efforts the department took to prevent removal?
Yes, so basically all of the previous cases that we've had, those were 3 previous cases. We did try to put in a safety plan on one of the previous cases. Miss Stanley was not cooperative with that safety plan. And then, of course, with Miss Stanley and Mr. Cervantes residing in the same home together with Miguel's, Mr. Cervantes' mother.
And was Gabriel moved without, I'm sorry, was Echo removed without orders?
No, ma'am, he was removed with orders.
Okay, great. So there was no time for an adversary hearing, is that correct?
Correct.
And did the department believe that the child was in immediate danger?
Yes, ma'am.
Have the parents been able to visit the child?
From my understanding, they have, yes, ma'am.
Do you recall how many visits they've had since removal?
My last conversation I had with them, it was just one.
Ask the witness.
All right, Ms. McDaniel, questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Hill,
None, sir.
Mr. Ingram.
Just for clarification and for the court's records, Echo is placed in a foster home locally. Children's Hope is just the agency of that foster home. Is that correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay. Have the parents been asked to drug screen in this case?
They have.
Have they complied?
No, sir, they have not.
Are you asking that they be court ordered to hair strand and UA drug screen today?
Yes, sir, I believe that'd be appropriate.
Thank you. Pass witness.
All right. Mr. Ariano, it'd have to be tomorrow, wouldn't it? It's 4 o'clock already.
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Anybody have further questions for Mr. Ariano?
I do have further questions, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Arellano, do you recall an ex parte hearing in this case before Judge Anderson?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And the child was removed on October 21st of 2024, is that correct?
That is correct.
And that was without orders. Do you recall that now?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, what were the circumstances that the child was removed without orders?
The hospital was able to keep Echo. We've received the intake on or the report on Friday. The hospital was able to keep Echo through the weekend.
Did the hospital decline to keep him any longer in order for us to obtain orders?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay, and so there was an immediate danger to the child, is that correct?
Yes.
And there was not enough time to obtain an order for protection from the judge prior to removal, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Anyone else?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, then, do you want Mr. Ariano to stay?
I do want Mr. Arellano to stay. The department calls Stacey Brown as a witness.
Okay. Ms. Brown, do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Brown, who do you work for?
I work for St. Francis Ministries.
And are you the supervisor over the assigned St. Francis caseworker?
Yes, I am.
And that caseworker will take over after the adversary hearing if the judge continues the department as temporary managing conservator. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. However, even at this point, at the time of removal, St. Francis handles both placement and visitation. Is that correct?
Correct.
And what visits have the family had with the child?
They had an initial visit on October 24th of 2024. At that time, my worker was out on leave with a family emergency, and so she was unable to send in the request for further visitations. That has been sent in. It was assigned today, and so the visits will get set up tomorrow moving forward.
You pass the witness.
All right, Ms. McDaniel,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Hill,
No questions, Judge.
Mr. Ingram.
Stacy, do you know if anyone's looked into the possibility of placing Echo with the siblings in Bear County?
I have not heard that, but I'm not opposed to looking at the home study.
Okay. Do you also believe that given the history of this family, circumstances of this case, that the visitation should not continue until the parents drug screen?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Pass the witness.
All right. Anyone else? Any other questions for Ms. Brown?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Gutierrez, any other witnesses?
No other witnesses, Your Honor. The department rests. We ask for findings of reasonable efforts to prevent removal, as well as reasonable efforts to reunify the family since removal and offering visitation.
All right. All right, I will make those findings. Ms. McDaniel, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Hill.
No, sir.
Mr. Ingram, recommendations other than what you just asked Ms. Brown about?
No, sir. Just continue temporary managing conservatorship placement as is.
Okay. All right, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator. I'll continue Echo's current placement. I'll order both parents to hair strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. tomorrow, November 5th at Care Express. I'll order that the parents' visitation be suspended until each has provided the drug screens that I'm ordering today. All right, our next hearing will be the status hearing. That will be on December 9th, 2024. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of December 9th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. Okay, I believe this was our last hearing for the day, so we will stand in recess. Everybody have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Judge.
Your
I'll see
Honor.
you Wednesday.
Okay.